Hey folks, welcome to Big Ten Chat. I'm Mike North from Fox Sports Radio nationally and also XM Radio 169. Catch me on WIND and northtonorth.com as well as this great network, the Big Ten. And she's Grace Gorel, voted top 10 in the Nike Field Reporter search. And Grace, I know the boys and girls want to converse with you. Where do they go if they got to get a hold of you?
If you want to talk to me, feel free to email me at goro.grace@gmail.com.
Can you get that to me? Oh, okay, I'll just check the tape for myself. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot going on this past weekend. The first big game of the day for us, I'm going to say, is Wisconsin. The Wisconsin-Michigan State game. Michigan State ends up winning the game on a Hail Mary pass, boomerangs, pinball football. The Michigan State guy gets in, so they say. What did you think of the play?
Is that what happened? Because where I was, I couldn't even see it. I'm at Barn & Co. at Lincoln Park, watching the game with all my friends, and usually it's a U of I bar, but today, or that day, we had it a Wisconsin and Michigan State bar. And I'm watching it, I'm getting all excited, the pass goes up, the entire bar stands up, completely blocks my view. I don't see what happened.
Now you're a tall lady.
And I'm tall, I'm 5'10", and you think I'd be able to see over these people with the big screens, but there was so much jumping and cheering and jeering that I couldn't hear or see anything.
So the jeering was being done by the predominantly Wisconsin crowd at an Illinois bar with Michigan State and other Big Ten types in there, right?
Exactly.
So I know you got one view, for the most part. Not all, but for the most part, the Wisconsin view. What was it?
What do you think it was?
Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin was obviously not happy about it. Michigan State was overly excited, and I think because of that there was a little bit of bitterness at the bar, but in the end everyone had a drink and we got over it.
Everybody had a drink, forgot about it, except the guys that, you know, might have said to themselves, we were winning this game 14-0. This was an opportunity for Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin drops completely out of the top 10. They lose at Michigan State. Oklahoma stays in the top 10 in the BCS poll, and they lose at home to a pretty good Texas Tech team. But you know what? I'm just saying there's a little bit of bias when it comes.
Yes, exactly.
You feel the same way. Now, you're from, we should tell everybody, you're a Pac-10 girl, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Chicago, but I went to the University of Arizona, so Pac-10, yeah.
Okay, so then this goes in line with what Nebraska had to go through. Would you be happier, having been from there, if your football team had gone to another conference? Because at the time you have USC and these other teams. Nebraska came to the Big Ten, and all of a sudden Nebraska, at the beginning, got a whipping by Wisconsin. But maybe that was good for them.
Maybe it was good for him, and it would have been, yeah, you're right, it would have been a similar thing for me. I wouldn't have thought it would be better. If I knew U of A was going to the Big Ten, I would have been nervous. But everybody else doesn't realize how serious the Big Ten is, and I think they thought Nebraska was going to have a much easier time than they did, and I think Wisconsin showed them that. So I do think it's good. Now they realize what they're dealing with a little bit more.
Yeah, they do, because Wisconsin was waiting for them. They had to prepare during the whole off season for them. Speaking of preparing during the off season, Northwestern prepared during the offseason, and you know what? I hate to see him at 0-4. Pat Fitzgerald's a great guy. I think he's going to be like Joe Paterno's at Penn State forever, unless he has a lot of these years. But you hate to use injuries as an excuse. But if I'm not mistaken, Dan Purcell was being touted as a Heisman candidate, and he got hurt. He hurt his Achilles tendon. You know what a quarterback, you have a brother that's a quarterback in Division I. What does that do when you lose a quarterback that's supposed to lead you?
Well, the quarterback is the leader on the field, and if you don't have a leader, then your whole team's going to fall behind. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and the same situation happened with Peyton Manning and the Colts. You just cannot function. Your offense cannot function without the quarterback.
So even though they had other people, if you've been banking on that one guy, there's an adjustment period no matter what. I just wonder, I mean, 0-4, you think that they would have done something by now. They've had some tough luck losses and stuff like that. But you know what? As far as I'm concerned, Northwestern needs a win, and they need one badly. It might be one of those down years for the Northwestern Wildcats, and we hope. Well, it is a down year. They're 0-4 already.
It might be, but they might turn around. You gotta always hope, maybe.
Yippee!
Gotta have the
Pat,
right attitude,
did you hear that?
right?
Hey, that's Grace Gorel. Hey, there's always hope. You don't give up. Here's one thing I know about Northwestern: they're not going to give up. Okay?
Exactly.
Just like Joe Pa. How old's Joe Pa? Hey, look at my guy Joe Pa with the pitch black hair, Clark Kent glasses. He's superhuman. I mean, he's been coaching way before you were born.
Way before I was born, yeah.
Like how many years do you think?
I think he's been coaching about twice as long as I've been alive.
Now, do you see that? I mean, I know younger people tend to think that, hey, you know what, it's easy. This guy's like in his 80s, you know. I mean, does that sort of boggle your mind when you see it?
I mean, I don't think anyone can think it's easy to coach that long. That takes a lot of skill and a lot of knowledge of the game. And I think everybody respects it. Even people my age maybe don't understand how, you know, important that is.
Well,
but
Sean Payton got run over and broke his leg, and he's from the New Orleans Saints. He's up in the booth. Joe Paterno gets run over. He gets up and brushes himself off.
he's a tough guy.
Yeah, he's a tough. Is he a Cougar?
He's a Cougar.
He's a Cougar. You heard it. From Gray Squirrel to Joe Pot. You're a Cougar. Hey, you've been listening to Big Ten Chat. I'm Mike North. She's Gray Squirrel. See everybody tomorrow.